Hello! I am the Witch of Jasmine and welcome back to my channel! Today I have a reading for Scorpio moons! How are you guys doing? Oh, I have to be honest. I'm always excited for Scorpio moon readings. Not in a bad way at all. I just think you guys tend to have some really interesting readings. I always, I'm curious what's going on. But anyway, I really don't mean for that to sound ominous. I'm genuinely just excited. But as I'm shuffling out these cards, I invite you to take some deep breaths to ground yourself. Hope you guys are doing well. Just take some time to breathe, to chill. We've got a new moon tomorrow, so it's actually really nice timing. We'll see what can you keep in mind going forward for this new cycle. I'll go with that one. I do want to mention really quickly, and I'm sure I put a little card thing up here already. I just last week put up an updated video for how my tarot readings work. So if you're new here or, I don't know, oops, have any questions about how my process works, sorry, as I'm like, there we go. Highly recommend you check that out. There is a lot of, oh my gosh, why does this keep falling? I guess we'll do those too. Sorry, if you have any questions about how this works or how my process works, there's a lot of information in that video. Highly recommend you go check it out, but not right now because we got to get into your reading. What's going on? Let's find out. For our oracle card, we have hope. Oh, that's so nice. I love daffodils. You know what's so funny, actually? Oh, and I'll mention before I forget, we have Taurus and air as well. You know what's funny? We have daffodils. Actually, there's a window right here. We have a whole bunch of them right out that window in our yard. And I was driving home last night. Sorry, semi-related, but I don't know. I feel the need to say it. I was driving home last night and I was like pulling into my garage and I saw that there was, you know, it's fall, so things are like kind of dying outside. A lot of the plants are just kind of giving up and starting to hibernate. I don't know, whatever they do for the winter, temporarily die, I guess. And I noticed that like among all of that, there was like one daffodil that was like just up and just like this perfect little flower. And I remember looking at it and being like, wow, that's so nice. Like, you know, a lot of the garden looks a little rough, but there's just like one daffodil that's just kind of like thriving in all of that, you know? So that's funny that that came up. That made me think of that. But anyway, as for the rest of your cards, we have 10 of Cups, 8 of Wands, Knight of Wands, King of Chalices, the Moon, and Knight of Athames. 9 of Athames. Okay, well, wow, this is a pretty straightforward reading. So like I said, we're going into a new moon cycle right now, so I definitely am getting the feeling that this is all very related to this new moon. Like, I do feel like this is very, like, related or specific to this next moon cycle. I don't often feel that way, but with this one in particular, I do. So, I'm actually going to start here. Usually I start over here, but I'm going to start over here. Whatever your goals are that you're working towards right now, you might be in kind of a spot right now where you're a little stuck or having trouble really breaking through to the next milestone or getting to your end goal, whichever the case. So I say that because with Knight of Wands, that's definitely about hard work, right? I put out a bunch of shorts videos on here, which they're really short. Obviously, they just go in depth into what each card means. And I'm finishing up the Wands section of it, the suit of Wands. So I did recently put out a video about this Knight of Wands, a couple, of course, about this Knight of Wands. It's about using the fire and ambition that you have in you to fuel you to work hard. Not only just work hard, but work efficiently and be dedicated, right? Because one lesson that the Knight of Wands teaches us is that when you have fire, it can be used constructively or destructively, right? So the Knight of Wands upright, he's really good at using that fire, controlling it enough so that he can use that fire inside of him for good, right? Now, in this case, I think for you working towards your goals or whatever it is, I think part of this might even be holding you back right now is fear and anxiety. That's what this card is all about. This Nine of Athame. It's all about fear and anxiety. Very straightforward. So what this reading is encouraging you to do, and I know I'm going to be a little vague with this, but it's encouraging you to use that fear and anxiety to fuel you. Now, I have to be careful when I say that because that can also very easily just create more fear. But the idea is to understand that whatever it is you're scared of, I guess I'll throw out examples. Like if you are afraid of losing your job, or if you're on a health journey, you're afraid of getting sick or continuing to be sick, or if this is about a relationship, working at a relationship, the fear might be losing somebody, right? Understanding that it's not necessarily about letting that fear control you. It's about controlling that fear. Understanding that if you can work really hard at something, 9 times out of 10, obviously life is life. Things are out of our control. But in this reading, it's telling you that you have the ability to control this fear. Use it to your advantage, right? Does that make sense? So it's not like you need to be more scared and you need to act out of fear, but it's more so turning it on its head and being like, yeah, I am really scared that, I'll get fired. I haven't been doing that well, and I could get fired. I need to turn things around, or, my health hasn't been that great and I think it might get worse. So I'm going to, instead of just kind of living in this fear, I'm going to get on top of it so that I don't feel that fear. Do you know what I'm saying? So that being said, with Eight of Wands and the Moon, Eight of Wands tells me that there is going to be some rapid progress. That's what that's about, that like quick energy that, things are going and going. But when this comes up, when you kind of do hit that breakthrough moment, or maybe you feel your real a real wave of success, a real burst of success, that is going to happen for you at a time when you don't really expect it. With the Moon, there's a bird, sorry. With the Moon, it's about illusion, but like something that's hidden, right? So I think, going forward, just keep that in mind, that this success, I know this card doesn't necessarily look like success, but it's rapid progress. that's gonna happen. A lot of this change and a lot of the breakthrough and all of that is going to happen at times when you don't super suspect it. So, I mean, personally, my general advice is to try not to worry about timelines so much, especially if you don't have to. That can a lot of times just lead to disappointment or be a distraction. And I'm especially saying that here. It's very possible that a lot of the progress that happens is not going to be something that is super obvious at first. And then, I mean, to wrap this up, this hope. We have both 10 of Cups and King of Chalices, aka King of Cups. And those are some of my most favorite cards to see in a reading. Because 10 of Cups is, I mean, it's the happily ever after card, really. It's that, it's that sense of completion. 10 cards are like completion. And it's, when it's paired with King of Cups especially, King of Cups is, I always say, like, if I could choose a dad, I would want it to be King of Cups, because he's someone who's just so emotionally intelligent, someone who is so balanced with his emotions. I don't want to say, like, that they've got life figured out, because, I mean, I'm still kind of young, but I've been told that nobody really figures it out in life. But that's about as close as you can get to it, you know? So my point is, with all of this, that this reading wants to encourage you that there is a path to all of this. It just involves everything we discussed here. I'm not going to repeat all of it, but everything we discussed here, it can really bring you to that. And not even just that it can, I mean, it's most likely. Like, tarot gives you the most likely the most likely outcome at a particular time. And look at you. The most likely outcome is this 10 of Cups and King of Chalices, and those are some pretty great cards. I love those cards. So, Scorpio moons, I hope that this reading helps you feel encouraged and validated. Again, just to sum up super quickly, don't let the fear and anxiety control you. It's about using it to your advantage, right? And taking control of that situation so that you don't need to feel this anymore. As well as with this, remember that a lot of your progress is going to be fairly hidden, at least for a little while, probably not forever. So if you don't immediately see it, that doesn't mean, when this goes with a lot of like stuff in general, especially like manifesty type stuff, but just because you don't see the progress doesn't mean that there isn't progress. So don't let that trip you up, okay? So if you have any questions about this, or if you'd like any part of this clarified, please let me know. You can leave a comment, or you can just reach out to me, whichever you prefer. The best place to reach out to me is on my TikTok at The Witch of Jasmine. You can also find me on Instagram. I have a really small account on there because I really don't like Instagram, but I made that account just in case that's the most accessible place for you. Feel free to reach out to me on there. But I'm so happy I was able to give you such a lovely little reading. I'm wishing you lots and lots of luck. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye!